So tell me a little bit more about how your students, inform some of your storytelling. You gave the example of Abercrombie and Fitch. We talked about, some of these digital brands that are, digital brands that are now, moving into the physical space. How else does having this contact with the youngest generation of consumers, how else does that impact and affect what you're doing?
They keep me on my toes. I mean, they literally keep me on my toes. There's another example of we were doing Follow the Leader. It's an assignment I do in my leadership class. And I say, okay, what leader should we follow? So if I'm picking them, I'm picking Brian Cornell and Doug McMillan and, all the big, guys that we all know that we follow all the time. And, sometimes I have students that are like, I want to follow, Terence Reilly of, Stanley Cup. And I'm like, really? Okay, we're a fashion school, but okay, talk to me.
Let's talk about Stanley. I think that's I think that's a terribly interesting story because, I'm someone who goes to a lot of conferences and events, and I'm always getting these Yeti cups. Right. And I think Yeti's a terrific brand, by the way. Yeti. I think it's well made and durable, and I always lose the caps, which is part of the reason that I got so many like capless, lidless Yetis at home.
Class.
Well, right. But suddenly, my 8-year-old, she comes home one day and she has to have a Stanley because all the girls in her class have Stanleys, and now we've bought like 6 Stanleys. And how did Stanley suddenly catapult into the forefront of the thermal mug space, if that's what it's called?
2 words: Terence Reilly.
Tell me about that.
Terence Reilly is the CMO of Stanley Cup now, but he came from Crocs. He's a marketing genius, and when he came to Stanley Cup, he kind of really just made Stanley Cup a household brand fashion. So let's think about what's transpired over the past few years. All of us, me included, I'm always walking around with my water bottle, right? We all want our water bottle and our drinks. And drinks, cups, and holders are fashion. So people are like, what? They're not fashion. It's, to hold water, but it's not. When I'm wearing this outfit, I want a, yellow container. When I'm wearing my purple outfit, I want a purple container. It's a fashion item. Stanley Cup caught on to that very quickly. They come out with their fashion colors. They come out with their, February Stanley Cups, and they also use social media. So coming from Crocs, that was a big thing that Terence did with Crocs, is use social media. So it's a whole big... it's just a change of marketing in terms of, making a water cup mug a fashion. It's a fashion item.